A Monster Called Loneliness, written by Sasha Li. Loneliness. In the dictionary, it's an adjective. In reality, it's an ever-consuming monster. Formless, shapeless, invisible. It's something that we as humans have forever learned to fear without truly realizing it. It creeps up the walls without making a speck of noise, crawls in ever-shrinking circles around us until it claws at our hearts and screams with our cries. Truly a horrifying creature. And I can feel it coming in the darkness, slipping in from the cracks in the windows or the gaps beneath the door. I can hear it, breathing in time with the wind that thawed the snow that fell down to the freshly springing ground. I can smell it, as crisp and cold as the winter left behind only months before, as it whispered its sweet nothings into my ears. Its words, they never mattered. They could be the worst insults to ever be thrown at man, or the kindest and softest reassurances. All that mattered was that it spoke in a voice, always so distinct, always so familiar, and that it could even bring the toughest of fighters to their knees in fright. The attack could be considered a kind of magic, a spell. If only we lived in a fairy tale. And as it comes closer, I could feel it brush against my shoulders, a ghost of a comfort once known, a ritual of people so close together, of laughter, of a smile, of praise, and a job well done. And I could feel it cup my cheek with the phantom of a warmth of a loved one, a teasing reminder of a hope long forgotten, of soft skin and softer lips, of secretive smiles and exchanges taken for granted. It too has warmth as it smiles, knowing that I had another victim to claim within me, to break and crack open and take for dinner. Perhaps it has the capacity to feel, and if it did, perhaps it would feel sorry. But ever still, it is a monster, a nightmare, a shadow made real and solid, manifested from terror and thoughts long dead and buried into the ground. It comes from the absence of life, the absence of sound, all saved but one. And that one just happened to be me. But there are always ways to combat the demon that can never be killed, for every living thing has its weakness, and though this creature cannot breathe, cannot make a heartbeat, cannot even see, it still has a heel to pierce all the same. So up flips my screen, the bright colors blinding in the illuminating dark. With a hiss, loneliness flinches back as the lights fill the room, as my fingers dance along the symbols and lines we've learned to call letters, forming shapes we've evolved to call words. I type and I ask, and I wait for a response. I plug in chords of black and white as the monster pulls away. I pull headphones over my ears to drown out its words, and click buttons to mute its screams. And as the familiar ringtone echoes through the silence, I could feel the non-existent presence of the beast slink away into the shadows, fall back to the world it came from, into the crevices of my mind, and into the mind of others, into the sky perhaps, up into the clouds. And I can't help but smile as a wall of screams and arguments greet me as I open my mouth to greet them back. Hello.